Hey everybody, welcome to In Depth. I am Artosis alongside No Regret.
Alongside.
Alongside.
Alongside or
my longest side.
I'm
No Regret. Yeah, so here we are. We have actually a really cool episode today. I think next week we'll start on the GSL Season 3 replays.
Also, let us know which series you would like to see. I mean,
Yes.
we have some ideas already, but I would love to hear from you guys in Discord.
Let us know in the Discord. The one that I already told Jake that we have to do for GSL Season 3 is Maru Ragnarok. I thought that was just super, super awesome.
I'm excited.
That was an amazing series, so I definitely want to do that one. But if you guys have any suggestions for that, please leave it in our Discord.
I believe there is a game suggest, so you can leave it there. And while we're on the shills, you might as well support us on Patreon, patreon.com/indepthsc2.
That's correct. That's how we are
We're
justifying
doing this
show
for
and
the YouTube viewers right here. This is because they watch for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So you might get another one in 30 minutes. No, we're just kidding. Thank you guys for watching and supporting us. We will be getting into our episode shortly.
Yeah. So this episode is going to be about Astrea's run through the GSL Super Tournament Qualifiers. So Astrea is still a little bit unknown if you only watch like GSL and top of WCS. You probably don't hear about him that much. But if you're a little bit deeper, you hear about him all the time because he's becoming one of the very best North American players.
Yeah.
Why don't you speak about him a little bit, because he lives at your house right now.
Astrea and I go way back. So back in like maybe 2011, he was a player that was considered a ladder hero. Back then there were a lot of ladder heroes though. Like there were people that were just top 10, top 5 on ladder that never did anything because the ladder was so unstable. But you saw Astrea up there, and he was playing a ton, but he was a student, I guess. So he didn't really do much. I think he may have gotten Premier once back then, like way back.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. I believe I recall that.
Like he was good. He was really good. No one doubted him as like that, but he wasn't like the pro-level player where he's committed everything. He was going to university. I think he just graduated, like, very recently.
Yes, that's right.
And then decided to go full-time, so he flew out to Korea, and he's been practicing nonstop since. I think he came maybe 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. He was pretty good. I think he was still top 8 challenger, something like that. So not bad. Not great, but not bad.
Yeah.
And he's just been practicing a lot with the Koreans on the Korean ladder, and he's been getting better exponentially, I would say.
Yeah, and to throw some things out there, for instance, he won the North American Qualifier for that big Australian tournament that's in a week or two. So obviously that had a lot of good players playing. He also made a top 16 at WCS fall, right?
Yes, he didn't lose a single map, I think, until... or it was in single series or single map until...
He lost to someone ridiculously good. Who was it? Can you remember who he lost to?
I feel like you're about to tell Cyril or something, but I don't know.
No, I can't.
It wasn't evading me right now. Special. It wasn't not special. It was not surprising. I'll say that much.
Yes.
Whoever it was supposed to beat him.
No, absolutely. That's what I'm saying, though. It's like, well, I guess if you make round of 16, like the top 8 are the top 8 that are going to BlizzCon. So he lost to someone who's going to BlizzCon, basically. And I can't remember who it is right this second. I'm sure it'll pop in my head during the show. But either way,
he's been steadily improving his results as well as his play. I think his play is actually ahead of his results right now, and his results are actually pretty good, if that makes any sense. Like, they're just... A lot of the times when a player gets really good, their results kind of lag behind them until they...
Absolutely.
Until they get a little bit more tournament experience.
Completely normal.
Yeah, we're at that lags behind period, but I guarantee you next year he'll have a very strong showing, and I think in this tournament he actually showed almost all of his potential here. So we can dive into it and show you guys exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. So this is the bracket that he had for GSL Super Tournament, right? So he takes on DRG, who did make it into Codas this year, 2-1. And then you took down Sue 2-1. Okay, so that right there, that's pretty dynamite. Loses 0-2 to Gumiho. Okay, no shame there.
Some people would argue that ZVP is Zerg favored. I don't know if I would do that, but some people would.
There's certainly...
And...
Some Zergs would even do it.
Sue's late game, I don't think anybody really... No one would say Sue has a terrible late game or bad late game by any means.
Yeah, he's not a late game player. I would definitely call him a mid game or late mid game player. But
still, though, like if you get past Sue's mid game and go into the late game, that's pretty impressive.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So he does take down Sue 2-1, and I remember he was really hyped. I think we were actually doing.
You were here.
Yeah, we were actually doing it.
It was 1 week ago.
Yeah,
and I was like, make him save the replays because this will make such a great episode. But
and then Astrea played Gumiho. He said that series felt really one-sided. I don't blame it either. The way Astrea plays is he plays more of a reactive and passive style. But Gumiho is just so experienced with taking those players out, you know?
Yeah,
If I always told Astrea, like, if you could practice with Gumiho, that would be so sick for you. I'm like, you'll never lose to Masa again if you can practice with Gumiho.
Hey, that sounds fair to me, actually.
Yeah. So
I feel you on
hopefully
that.
that'll happen. And then he went down to lower bracket in the highest seed, I guess you could say.
The qualifying match he fell down to again and ended up losing to Sue.
Who took out SOS right before. Just like, nobody's going to question that, huh?
No, totally. So yeah, that's quite a run. That's really, really impressive.
He lost to time.
Oh, he lost to time. Yeah. Well, time is in great shape.
And time
right
did
now.
really well there too, I think.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and load up some of these replays. I believe we are missing one replay. You said?
Yeah, something like that. I
So
think
no biggie.
it'll come apparent when we see it.
Yeah.
They said they had to restart their computers or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. It sucks. I try very hard to save all my replays from every tournament. Then something happens, you restart, and you're like, oh shit! I'm at a PC
That's
bong.
what
Everything
happened.
resets.
Exactly. That's what happened to me when you're like, oh, you should save your replays. I had to restart my computer once.
I like how your story keeps changing on that. That's really cool.
Didn't I say that? I didn't
No.
say that? Or maybe I rage turned off my computer and then I was like, oh shit, I can't turn it back on to get the replays. I don't know what it was.
Okay, I believe that we are missing.
Is that the same replay? There's
No. Thunderbird. Okay, so we're missing the first game against DRG.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, that's fine.
I think
we'll start on game 2 then.
Sure. So we want to start with DRG. It's a 7-minute game. Let's see. I don't think I've actually seen these ones. I can't remember for sure.
All right, well.
Let's go into it. So when I watched a lot of the Sue replays with Astrea already, so I may have these little tidbits of like information that he's blessed us with.
Did you just call it timbits of information?
Yeah, like little balls of information.
Yeah. All right. All right, let's check it out. So we have Thunderbird.
Also, Astrea has been whining a lot about 12 pool. I don't know what it is, but he says it's broken.
Really?
Yeah, and then
tell me more.
And then Scarlet said no, it's not, or whatever. Like you just don't know how to defend it. And then he 12 pulled Scarlet's Protoss and beat it apparently multiple times.
Damn.
So I don't know what's going on. I didn't see those replays, but I almost want them too.
Okay, hold on. Because this is an important thing that you just said. Because I had no idea about this. But
I'm the 12 puller.
Yeah. So 12 pool. Let us not forget. Dark. Saying that 12 pool is really good.
No.
We have all been arguing about whether or not he was trolling.
It's so bad, though. I don't know what.
Apparently, it's good.
12 pool sucks. Sasha says 12 pool sucks.
Scarlett, excuse me, did you lose to Astrea's 12 pool?
Did you lose to Astrea's 12 pool?
Because we know you're actually a Protoss main, and he is a Protoss main. So
don't even meme. I don't know what's going on.
I want to know.
We need Astrea in the chat, too. Okay. Well, anyways, we can think about it a bit more.
She went Nexus first and didn't scout, and he pulled all its drones. That doesn't count then.
But
you got me so excited.
I didn't watch the replays either. But it sounded like...
Well, I mean, if you sent me a replay, you're like, oh, well, look at this 12 pool. I'd be like, yeah, Jake, let me get right on that.
Astrea went Nexus first, too. Is he whining about 12 pool going Nexus first?
That could be.
If he did, I'm gonna lose so much respect for him. That's just disrespectful. Like, you're just like 12 pulls in, but it's going Nexus first.
Well.
So Nexus first, or pro blocking the third base. This is really annoying. I mean, like, especially if they're going Nexus first at the wall and like down here, and you can't even take your third base. Like, this is just really, really bad. But it's a little risky too, though, because some Zerg players.
Scarlett was saying in the chat, no probe cutting or anything, so kind of a greedy build overall.
From Astrea?
Yeah.
Or is she talking about her game where she went Nexus first?
No, it says he also doesn't ever cut probes.
Okay, so Astrea just whined. He just was whining. That's what you're telling me. Okay, look at this. What do you think?
Sick. All right, hold on.
Yeah. 8 probes at the
Yes,
net.
we're at 32 workers, a zealot, and a sentry. The wall isn't done.
And a second sentry.
I love it.
By the way.
I love it. This is so greedy. This is so ridiculous.
Is
it's
it greedy?
awesome.
That's the question.
Yeah, it's like the greediest thing I've ever seen in my
But
whole
is
life.
it greedy if you don't get punished, or if you can't be
Yes,
punished?
it's greedy whether you get punished or not.
If you can't be punished, is it greedy?
You can be punished.
I'm saying if you can't be, is it greedy?
No, if you
Okay.
can't be punished, it's not greedy. It's
So
safe.
Let's
That's
deem,
like
let's
the
deem
opposite.
if it's punishable at some point.
Well,
based off of
in
what we
this
discovered.
particular game, it might not be punishable, but if this is something that
Well,
you
you
do
can't-
regularly,
Yeah, okay.
absolutely.
Well, like, okay, so
That full
is
wall.
it punishable?
Yes, it's punishable.
By what right now?
Well, nothing that DRG has.
Exactly,
Nothing
so it's
that
not
DRG
punishable.
has. Well, not this particular game, but you can't play like this all the time. Is what I'm saying. This is a greedy play, and if I'm DRG and he does this to me, I'm on the lookout for it a little bit more, right?
Right.
Obviously, this is only something that's going to work on this map, but like if Astrea gets known for something like this, his
Sure.
PVZ power is going to go down. You can't do this all the time.
Okay. So what do you think about, first off, isn't it, I mean,
It's a beautiful wall. I like it.
I'm
If
not
you're going to
talking
play
about-
like this,
well, that's, sure. Okay. Isn't not really cool that he has a map-specific strategy that feels like it's not really influenced by anybody else? You know what I mean by that? It's basic. So, because I haven't talked to him about this at all, but I just think it's really cool when players are able to actually come up with stuff like this on their own, because it's really not influenced by anybody else. We haven't seen it.
Yep.
On a map that it's only going to work on this map. There's no other maps like this. And pull it out in a tournament that, you know, he's playing Koreans in one of the hardest tournaments and fuck people up. I think that is one of the coolest things in StarCraft.
yeah.
If you can actually do this.
No, it's super cool. Game
So-
has been recovered from a replay. Look at
This
that.
is why the first game is missing, I guess.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Look at that, the double forge. I like it. I like it.
Okay. Can you get any greeter is now the real question.
Yeah.
He opened 3 Nexus, double
He
forge.
could add another forge. That would be greeters still.
He could get double Stargates.
Yeah, he could get a Stargate and start making oracles. Okay, I love this building that we're seeing. Okay,
Yeah.
I want this very badly to be a
Colossus?
Stalker Colossus build.
I think you might be.
Because literally, I don't know if you
we,
if you heard me say it, but I was talking about how the only way I could see Trap winning is if he does stuff like Stalker Colossus against Rogue.
was that based off of the replay we watched? Was it Cyril?
We watched like I think we saw Hellraiser and Gung Fu Banda both do, or maybe I was watching some at WCS.
I definitely saw Gung Fu Banda pull out Stalker Colossus. We're
Yeah.
like,
And I think I've
looks
seen
so
Hellraiser
bad
do
that
it.
It's good. You know,
Yeah,
that's what our
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'm like, okay, it needs to be fresh meta if you're gonna beat him. Oh, but look at this. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, this is. We'll have to see, but this is basically like.
I like
you couldn't-
Spire more than I like Colossus, but
You couldn't ask for a better like.
no, the
start.
opening's ridiculous. The opening is just.
I mean, you basically might as well have mineral hacks. Like.
Look at this. The 4th base is up. This is like so.
Like,
It's so crazy.
look at his 4th base is actually timed with the Zerg's 4th base. Look at the saturation is basically.
All right, let's see. What is this group of units out? I just want to check.
Oh, that is actually very scary. I think it's a 2-1, right? I think this is
It's
2-1.
this is a 2-1 series, but I don't know what game is what.
Exactly.
It's not labeled because it's a qualifier. Yeah, I mean this is obviously ridiculously scary. So I think he's about to just die.
We'll have to see.
I like the ideas.
The one thing I really like, because he's fully walled this off, right? And he mines this place out. He only
Yeah.
has one place to defend.
Yeah.
Roach Ling. Like a lot of the times you'll have this open and this open too, because there's a wall like here if you're playing it safe.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got this open, and then this open.
Mm-hmm.
But with what he's done, he's just walled this fully, and he's got this full area that's the only defendable spot. Realistically, it's this ramp and this ramp. If his army was better positioned, he probably could have
Yeah.
fought
It
here.
would never even be the left ramp either. So
Yeah, basically, he
I
has
don't think I've
one-
ever seen anyone attack up
going
that ramp.
up one ramp.
I didn't even know there was a ramp there. That's how often I see people use that ramp.
Okay, so the game might
Yeah,
just end here.
this looks not good.
It's quite surprising that this just kills Estrella, but because he's got a Spire.
Well, this
behind
was
it, too.
this was a very greedy play overall. The thing is, I think that when you see this coming, you can actually give up your 4th and be fine.
Yeah, I think the scary thing is the Muta follow-up.
Yes. I almost feel like if you're going Colossus-based play with Stalkers, I feel like you have to hit a timing attack.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not made for anything else. We don't have this isn't Wings of Liberty. You don't play a macro game with that for a long time. You know,
Right.
eventually they're going to out-tech you. So kind of an interesting build, though.
Yeah, I like the build. Is there any way he defends this?
No, you have to pull back. If you pull back behind your minerals, yeah,
oh,
of
maybe,
course.
Yeah, actually, if you're right.
You
yeah,
can't you can't save your Nexus. 0%. 0%.
Like you actually can't fight here if you're a DRG.
Yeah.
There's you can't.
You can't do anything.
You can't corrosive battle mineral line or whatever.
You'd have a better chance going up the ramp over where the gates are.
Which would be shitty too, because there's Colossus.
Yeah, you just have to give up the Nexus here. It's impossible to hold.
83 probes to 65.
Crazy.
He doesn't even need it.
Yeah, he doesn't need a base.
He could just take these, right-click them here, and then continue. And he'd still be ahead economically. You might actually want to.
I like your idea. Yeah, I like your idea.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see game number... I'm actually kind of surprised, because he got punished for a build that basically had no early game weaknesses, it felt. Like, really early game weaknesses. Because you have to either blindly metagame it, or scout really early for that, and be able to find a build that abuses it. You know what I mean?
Oh, the build he was doing?
Like, Astrea's build is really, really scary to do for the little bit in the beginning.
Yeah.
But once you get past a certain point, like if the Zerg scouts it after a certain point, he can't really reactively do anything about it.
Yeah, no, that's certainly true. Like, I think that in StarCraft 2 in general, and just in basic RTS theory, once you scout something, it's almost too late to just counter it and kill them.
Right.
You almost have to find the slight fork within your build that does better against what they're doing, rather than like if you scout them and you're like, well, I'll just put down a Baneling Nest and kill them. That's not going to work. That's just if it's actually a high level of play. Like you're just like if you already have a Baneling Nest, maybe then there's something there, right? But yeah, builds are kind of prepared for that type of thing.
So he goes Nexus first again. I like it, but I don't at the same time. I mean, like, it will get punished by 12 pull, so I can see why he's.
You can't do it too much. You can't do it too much.
I'm just curious if the Zerg players pick up on it and they start 12 pulling him a lot, and then that's why he's complaining about it, or if they just 12 pull to 12 pull. Because you can actually predict 12 pull if you're really good. You can't predict it fully. Like there's obviously some randomness, but like you know which maps are good for it. You can put a percentage chance of it being done with the player in mind. Like for example, certain players are more like dark would have a percentage immediately of just having a dark buff. It's almost like a card game where you're like +1% 12 pull chance or whatever. Yeah. And if you can calculate all that, you can almost predict it. Like for Mario, it can almost predict the 2X's perfectly.
Yeah.
And for dark, I think you could almost predict the 12 pulls perfectly as well.
Well, I think it's hard to choose in a best of series exactly where it's going to be, but the thing is you have to give it like a percentage that it might happen.
I guess Acropolis against DRG. I don't know. I kind of want to ask Astrea if there is that, if he has any like thoughts on certain maps being 12 pull maps or certain players being 12 pull players.
I think once you get to a high enough level, you definitely are having to play the player as well. That's important. But the thing is, you can utilize that against your opponent also. So
it feels like he plays his own flavor of PvZ so far. I mean, like it's another double sentry opener.
Yeah.
With a robo.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, I really like when players are able to just go off on their own. I mean, that's the kind of player I like to be, even though it doesn't work very well.
Yeah, if it's just like an insta DT-based Archon drop or something, I'm like, yeah, okay, everyone in the whole world knows this build. That's cool.
Or like just a Stargate.
It's like, yeah, it's like a pretty good build. Okay. Oh, you made 3 Oracles and a Phoenix? Neat. I do that too. Okay.
Right. I'm trying to think if I remember this. No, wait, no, never mind.
No, it seems like this is going to most likely just be a Sentry Immortal push. Look at he gets his gases pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I like it because he's done a Nexus first 2 games in a row. In the last game, he went into just a super greedy, longer term scenario, and here it's like, okay, yeah, he's I mean, whether he puts down that Nexus or not, he's not going to mine from it. He's going for the attack, right? Like, I like it. Okay, let's just check the unit counts here. 48 drones. Yeah.
Feels like he's been playing really passive for an Archon drop. Like he's getting a Tempo Archive or an Immortal all in.
It seems like he's taking it very slow. And the thing is, I think when you open... this was my favorite thing to do, like, back around WCS Spring. I felt like this was really, really strong, where you open up and it looks like you're going to Immortal push, and then once you get rid of the scout that comes in, because it'll be like a Speed Overlord or something, as soon as you get rid of it, Forge Twilight and 3rd Nexus. Because
I like this a lot.
That type of play, I think, is just like, Mwah.
There's two ways to play Protoss, right? I mean, there's a lot of ways to play Protoss, but the way it makes sense to me is if you don't get like a huge eco lead or a huge, as long as you're not even with them economically to some extent, you could be a little bit behind or a little bit ahead. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're not just way behind, it doesn't matter. The thing is that Zerg player has to respect an Immortal Sentry all in from an early point in the game. Like if he builds too many drones, he's just dead. So if you feint the Immortal or the Immortal Sentry push and also tech at the same time, you're not really giving away your economy position because they have to respect it.
Absolutely. Like, look at the drone count. Look at that. 48 drones?
Yeah, to 45. He's got +1 charge and Templar Archives on the way. He can take a third when he wants to, and the Zerg player has a bunch of useless units that he's going to try and push you while you have Immortal Sentries and a Prism here.
Yeah.
Like, good luck.
Yeah. It's a really great
even
play.
if DRG didn't do this, you just throw the Nexus down, you've got +1. You get +2, and then you go. Or you could even feint a push and just retreat. So there's just like infinite options, it feels.
I wish that we had game one, because I'd love to see, because I see a almost like a continuity in the way that he's playing here, where the strategies are being like rotated intelligently. So that's what it seems like from 2 to 3, but obviously we don't have 1, so it's hard to get that full picture.
Look at that more in Sue because we have all the replays there. But I think that makes a lot of sense, and that's how I feel with him, where he actually. It seems like Astrea actually contemplates his opponent a lot and contemplates what strategies mesh well with others to some extent and what maps he should do what on. Like, obviously we saw that on the last map, even though he got destroyed. His strategy made a lot of sense for that map. Like, that was just a smart strategy. Okay, wait, let's go back. Because this fight looks pretty scary.
Yeah, it does. But he does have that Prism.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time...
well, he lost like 4 or 5 sentries.
Yeah. He did. Let's watch Astrea's cam.
Do you think he's going to go +2?
Yeah. He should.
Chrono right into it? He should, I think, yeah.
If he wants to keep his edge because he doesn't have a 4 or 3rd, he wants to get his +2 right now.
I love the tech of DRG, though. The fact that he's going Baneley Nest and Spire, I think that's like a really intelligent way to play this.
There's also another thing he could do right now, which is just go. Like, because he's forced to force so many units already. I
don't see the +2, so...
Yeah, it feels like he wants to just go here.
When you make an Archon instead of +2, you know that has to be an attack.
Oh, he's got a Prism here, too. I like this. This is sick. So...
Okay.
He has a lot of money, or he had a lot of money. He's got some money. He can warp in. Yeah, this is nice. I like this. So this is automatically respected. The only thing I would like this more is if he had some, if he had more of a, attack coordination here.
Yeah. The Prism is this here a little bit too early. Yeah, no, it's a good. Yeah, I mean, if he can pick off the Spire, that's gonna save him a headache.
The thing is that this army has to decide right now: are we saving the Spire? Or are we saving our 3rd? Right now.
The Spire's not getting saved. Yeah,
so I think he should leave like this or like this and then go down here, because if he gets cut off here or somewhere else, it's going to be real annoying.
Can I just say, by the way, this is a terrible place to put a Spire. It's a terrible place. Sure. It's like this is somewhere it can get picked off. This is the proper place for the Spire.
I agree.
You're never going to lose it there. Like, if you lose it there, you've already lost the game anyways.
Also, like, not only did he build it in the main, which you shouldn't do already, he built it where the drones have to go like this if they ever wanted to body block or anything.
Yeah. It's just it's like where Prisms play. If you built on the wrong side of the tracks.
If you build it here or somewhere, then you can use your drones to body block. You actually can't.
You can actually save it. Here, it can't be saved.
Yeah.
And like that goes for the whole game. Like later on, you're trying to get Greater Spire. What if they snipe that? You're really screwed. Then you're flying around with 8 Corruptors and your Greater Spire isn't there. I
almost want to play Tetris, where they're just like, oh, look, it fits right between.
Yeah, it fits right in there.
And same with the spawning pool. You're like, oh, look at that. You can put it right here.
They get so few buildings, so I mean, I guess I understand.
Oh, look, I built my spawning pool right here. I have a little gap.
Well, I like that. I like that. That's a good spawning.
Zerg players just do this cute shit where they're just like, let's see if all of his buildings are all of his buildings are aesthetically pleasing. Look at the Bailey Nesses too. He's actually playing Tetris.
That is true. Okay, the Bailey Nest sells it. Now the Warren and the pool. Those are great places to sit your queen so that the surrounds are harder.
Yeah, he's just playing Tetris. He's got a little bit of... He's just, I bet if we played this game out for another 20 minutes, his infestation pit would be in a little nice little nook. His Ultralisk Cavern, if he got it, whatever. He just puts them in little nooks. He's like, oh, look at that. There's a little cute spot.
Something fits here nicely. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think you're right, yeah.
Let's see how
Okay, so go back to Astrea. Yeah.
He only has 1 sentry, by the way. And he does save the Spire.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, this looks really bad for Astrea now. So he doesn't get the Spire, and he doesn't have his third, or...
Nidus on the way.
Yeah, he has to deal with this.
Surprised he didn't get that Spire. I was pretty certain he was.
We built the Spire and didn't do anything with it? He's getting a Nidus and no... Okay, sure. I don't like that, but... I guess at the same time it makes sense because Astrea's going to react to it now.
Yeah, you see the Spire, it finishes. You
it
probably
still feels like if you make the...
counter.
You know how like some Zergs just make 5 mutas and you're like, well, that's fucking annoying for the entire game?
Yeah.
It's almost always worth it. Okay, look at...
Ah,
oh, I did
it! You did it.
I'm
look
the
at
best
you.
commentator ever.
It's like you watch StarCraft or something.
It's almost... Yeah. It's the 5...
It's like you watch, play, and think about StarCraft. Wow.
5 perfect mutas and he stops. I love it.
Yeah.
This is like the best amount of mutas.
It's a good amount. It's good.
It's either you make a literal metric ton of them, or you just make 5. There's no in between. There's no 1 or 2 or 3, or there's no like 10, 15. There's like all or nothing with mutas.
The single muta against just a floating prism is okay, though.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
The
just
defensive muta.
saying. Yeah, the defensive muta.
Yeah. You're not wrong. Okay.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah, slow this down a little bit.
So...
Alright, good hold back of the Zealots. He has so many Immortals.
Yeah. It only... Really... I mean, he's really good. I mean, Astrea is playing like a really good game still. Like, even if...
Oh, it's just very
he got
solid.
pushed back here, he would be fine, which is the good thing about him. Like, the thing is, as soon as he saw the mutas, he wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go up the ramp and take a bad fight. He just immediately pulled back. He built shield batteries at each base, which is cool. No cannon. I'd like a cannon, but, you know, this is fine. He's taking a 4th while attacking. The only thing I would give him shit for is his upgrades could have been even faster. Like, he could have had his +2 immediately, and then he could have had his +3 immediately.
Well, it seemed like he was trying to get an attack off. And he did. He went for the attack, but it simply didn't work. But yeah, I definitely agree. His +3 could be halfway done right
how
now.
you could ever defend this.
It's pretty scary looking.
Yeah, and you can save some prism. You can do a big warp in. Yeah. +2 versus 0-0. I mean, he played a really good game. It didn't even feel like DRG did much wrong. Like, DRG had to respect all the options. And it feels like Astrea...
I'm not sure. What did he get done with the Nidus? I'm not entirely sure about
But, I
that.
mean, did we give him
I
enough
feel like
time?
his mutas, he made them, then I didn't see them doing what I wanted to see them doing.
At that point, I think he was already done.
When he made the 5 mutas?
Yeah. Like, even let's say the 5 mutas fly over here, and then it's just like, okay, we warp in a couple stalkers.
Yeah. I mean, that's
nothing
okay.
different, really, right?
Well, that's what I
let's
want to
say-
see, actually. I want to see you force some warp and stalkers. It's going to make your army better.
Sure. But I think that those stalkers not being here wouldn't have changed much. The only thing that could have possibly changed a lot here is if a Nidus went off and Astrea is just like, oh, I gotta go home or something. That would be a huge game changer. But honestly, like, the Roach Ravager army, I don't ever feel like it can ever fight this, really.
Well, you have to be
You have to go
having your
into something.
banelings.
Yeah, the Banelings, I guess.
The banelings are the really important part of that, I think. All right,
Yeah.
solid play, solid
Yeah,
game.
this was just a
The
solid
Sue
game.
game I'm going to be more interested in though, because while DRG is quite strong, I mean Sue is.
The Sue game.
Sue's the guy.
There's a 20-minute Sue game, I think.
Damn, really?
Something like that. So.
Look at this: Sue 1, Sue 2, Sue 3, Sue 4, Sue 5.
And
That's
he did
crazy.
that. Did you know that?
What? He named them that?
Yeah, he named them those.
Yeah, because he sent us the
that's
replays.
crazy.
That would make
No, but he did it
sense.
to himself too. Have you ever seen a pro gamer label his own replays? That's so rare.
Really?
Yeah,
I always label my replays.
it makes a lot of sense.
Makes it a lot easier
Yeah.
to go
It
through.
makes sense why you would do that.
You know what I used to
I bet
do
you
when
had
I was
binders with,
a
like,
young
your-
pro gamer? I used to
your
name it
binders-
things like fucking Protoss or like you
Yeah.
know just the worst
That's what we
names
do.
that didn't help, like asshole on Python. Like
That's how I do it.
nowadays though, I just put the player's name in the map.
All right, so these maps are.
All right, so yeah, this
Are
is.
these BlizzCon maps, by the way? Are all the maps certainly BlizzCon maps? I think they are now.
I didn't check what the Super Tournament pool is. It would stand a reason that it would be all BlizzCon maps, but it's also GSL, so we normally do our own
Super
thing.
Tournament would not be a good example though. Like, I would never be like, oh, that was the BlizzCon maps because it's Super Tournament. But if they're the same, then it would make sense too.
Well, this is a BlizzCon map.
Wait, okay, so wait, we could.
So this is This is game
Acropolis
1. This
on
is
the ladder?
the winner bracket, by the way. I just want everyone to know.
So, yeah, after he defeated DRG, he moved on to fight Sue. And the winner of this fights Gumiho. I think they knew already because the games took quite a long time. Look at this game is 26 minutes long.
Crazy.
Let's just follow Astrea's chem for now.
Yeah.
Because we're doing mostly an Astrea episode anyways. So first thing to note, first game playing Sue doesn't go Nexus first, which I think is great.
Yeah, and we didn't see the games against the first game against DRG. That could have been the same. We don't know.
But still, he did double Nexus first in the DRG series so far.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if he's going to do that in the Sue series. That would be really interesting.
Cool. So it's possible he opens gate first. I feel like we're giving away too much information. Feels like he opens gate first and the first game, and then you don't 12 pull because or if you 12 pull, it's gate first, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. And then he goes double Nexus first.
Could be, yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and the thing is, when someone Nexus first, you don't expect to see it again.
Right. You think this map is good for 12 pull? I feel like it's just average. There's nothing too
I don't know anything. I don't know why this would be particularly good again for 12 pull. It
There's nothing.
Doesn't compute in my head as something that
special.
would make sense.
We open Stargate. So far, we see a wide variety of builds, which is really cool. Astrea,
So you watched these games already, right?
I
The
think
games?
I think I did, yeah.
Okay.
I think I watched the second series though, not the first one.
Oh, okay.
Because we were watching like his elimination, I think. Astrea comes off as a player who he's kind of like stats in the way of like his play.
Oh, how so?
Like he plays how you think you should play to be the best player in the world. Do you know what I mean by that?
Do you mean like? Well, hold on. Is that true? Because we saw double Nexus first, which is like, I'm not hating on it, but like...
Yeah, but it's a reactive... I mean, if it's a reactive build that works on a map that you've prepped for, I mean...
Yeah, no, it's a fine move,
like,
but I don't feel like it's the move where you're like, I need to be the best, you know?
Sure. I'm just saying overall. I think there are certain builds at certain maps, but that's also, I would consider that things you would do if you want to be the best.
Yes, I certainly agree with that.
But yeah,
in fact, you and I talked about this, how there's not enough Nexus first.
Yeah.
Remember, we actually had that discussion that like, that's silly. There needs to be some amount of it because that will force 12 pool into the rotation, which other builds are stronger against. Like, you need to force Zerg to use shit builds.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dark.
So it feels long term, though. Like if Estrella keeps practicing, he's not going off of gimmicks. He's going off of a reactive, but sometimes decisive or just.
Well, you have to dictate the game sometime and take risks. That's for sure. In fact, that's something that we've spoken about with stats maybe lacking slightly from time to time. Is he doesn't mix enough of that in.
Yeah, it seems like he found a good balance of mixing it. So
yeah, maybe.
I'd like to see his performance in the future, but it seems like he's doing really well, especially in PvP. I think that's his best matchup right now.
Well, I'm just very interested in games 2 and 3 build openers. I think that's where we're going to learn a lot. Yeah, to see how he puts together this series, right? Because I could see him doing the exact same builds as he did against DRG and just counting on them not talking to each other. You know, I think that's fine. I think that's a fine strategy to use. You can't know exactly who's friends and who's going to talk. And you can't prep like a million billion strats. You know, that's there's some limit.
That's cute.
Wow, did you see that Oracle flying and kill a drone?
I did.
You know what I thought when I saw that? It's like
Oracle
8 different units at once, all together.
It is. It revelates.
Yeah, no, it's like 8. It's like 8 units. The way that it costs that much money and then killed one drone.
See, nobody knows what you're talking about. They just think you're dumb right now.
I'm teasing no regret.
But I'm not giving them the backstory. To
he was trying to tell me that oracles are like 8 different units, and I'm like, I killed 2 drones with my oracle. I don't. What are we talking about here?
Because we're talking about infestors being 8 different units, so I was like, well, oracles can do the same stuff too.
No, it's just not true.
To be fair, is there any? Well,
so this is like the most standard thing that you can basically do.
Yeah.
Right. So he's gone oracle opener with the Phoenix, right? Only made 1, which I think is totally fine when you're following up with an Archon drop. I think when you make the 3, it's more likely you're going to be following up with Immortals.
The only
and
difference
stuff.
is that it's a Templar Archon drop, which is still fine and normal.
Well, that's if you open Stargate, you're always doing that. Well, not always, but pretty much always. You don't go Dark Shrine with that.
It's because you're forcing a Spore. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Astrea a bit about Archon drop in general, and he was thinking about going Archon drop against Scarlet and Premier. Okay. And I basically told him, like, if you're going Archon drop against Scarlet, you only do it if you're not killing a single drone. Right? I'm like, everyone has so much practice against this.
Yeah.
You're only doing this if you don't care about killing any drones. Because basically I'm saying is, if you don't mind the fact that you don't kill any drones, but you have some tempo and you have some map control or whatever, then do it. But if you expect to kill even like one, do not do it. You know, if you're gambling on that, because it's.
I think that's a good way to look at it, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he did it, and
did he kill any drones?
I don't think he did. I think he killed no drones at all. I was like, you know what? I'm a genius. But
yeah, that's kind of the state of it. People are so good against it, plus the reduced range. You know.
I think he said he gives away this Cybercore.
Huh.
Yeah, just gives it away. So that's sad, but.
Ooh, that was a real good one. Damn. You know what? Sue memes. Do you remember how many stasis wards got him before?
No.
He was the Zerg, right? Where it's like every stasis ward went off every time.
I don't know. Is this?
Yeah, no, it was a while back when the stasis ward stuff first started up. I think SOS started it, and then we saw everyone kind of start using it, and it was like every time you get like 14 of Sue's drones. It was crazy. Anyways, never mind. He has enough negative memes about him.
Well, do you think...
Okay, so whoa, let's talk about this for a second. Okay, yeah, so he's going Blink first.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I saw this the other day. It was Trap doing it, where he went Blink, but he didn't go Stalkers. And it was very interesting. I really liked it. There was like 1 or 2 Stalkers maximum, and one of them was within the opening build.
Right.
Now, he didn't open Stargate that game. This game opens Stargate, so obviously it's slightly different. But the idea of just making Blink because mutas are popular right now, because like we talked about before, if you like see mutas and then you get Blink, you're not actually countering it. But if you already have Blink and they make mutas, I feel like that opens up a whole timing for you to a whole area, right? Yeah, to be aggressive. You defend perfectly, and then you can be very aggressive.
We basically saw that against DRG, right? Like the 5, he already had Blink, right?
No, he was getting Blink like a little bit later.
Was he? Well, either way, he had built 2 shield batteries, and he just went. You know what I mean? Like he had this huge opening where he attacked. And sure, DRG could have pressured more with the mutas, but basically all of the wind in DRG's sails just taken away from him immediately.
Oh, I was talking about the Thunderbird game. So yeah, no, I think
he had Blink.
I think you might be right. You might be right.
I mean, that was a long game, anyways. The point is, Astrea just immediately capitalized on the fact that the mutas weren't in numbers that they could do anything really at any point. He built 2 shield batteries each base, so he's definitely. I don't even know if he would warped in Stalkers. He might have just been like, you know what, I don't give a shit, and attacked you. But yeah, you get a lot of momentum with Blink. Almost that base.
So I'm interested to see if he actually makes Stalkers or not. Okay, he is making Stalkers. He is kind of a Stalker
guy. He has to
make
a little bit in the beginning just because so he doesn't want to die to this. Like he doesn't know if this is actually going to be a thing. Like it looks like it actually.
When I see Baneling speed on the way and +1 melee,
well, yeah.
What I think is I don't want to have Stalkers against
this.
He
hasn't seen the Baneling nest yet, actually.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
My point is he's seen a lot of Roachling.
Sure.
If he goes Blink but doesn't get any Stalkers, he's just going to be like really sad if he gets attacked. Even Stalkers defensively kind of suck, but they're not worse than nothing.
Yeah, let's see how many Stalkers he ends up making though, because I am interested in these weird Blink things.
If you look at it, all of this stuff is just so impressive. Even like it seems so intuitive and so simple, but like to do this against Sue, where you're like, I'm gonna take resources in defense. And play my own game. It's just really impressive stuff in the long run.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
When this goes further and further into his career, like this is the stuff that makes Neeb good, and this is the stuff that makes stats good, and this is the stuff that makes all these players really good, is they're just defended. I mean, sure, there's a gap there, but...
Yeah, it shows some confidence in the other parts of your game. You're not just an attacking Protoss.
Right.
I like how he set it up, too. This is rather defensive, but... and I don't know if he did this specifically because it's Sue or something. I think Sue and DRG are not that different stylistically, but yeah, Sue is more of a mid-game guy. If I'm preparing for a match against Sue, I'm not thinking about how do I stop his Broodlord Infestor. I'm thinking about how do I retain my High Templars and Immortals long enough to kill him. You know what I mean? Where he's more likely to attack you early and reduce your quality unit count and then get you.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is, and look, it's a nice wall. It's hard to get Banelings by here. This is very robust. It's good defense.
Even if he was getting Ravager Linged or some kind of Ling Hydra, anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is
going to buy him a lot of time.
Yeah. I just like it. I think it's something to note. Like if you're not an amateur, but you're not an established pro gaming Protoss player, I wouldn't say. Not to the same level of Neeb or someone like that, but also at the same time, you're still respecting all these little things. It's quite impressive to me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like at this level, you feel like you need to take all the risks.
Yeah, and when people feel like that, I think that's going to inhibit you a lot, because if you're just always taking risks to try to get maps off players, it's like, well, you're never going to actually win tournaments. I'm sorry. Like, what you're going to do is you're going to, like, have one good tournament where you beat a good player, then lose in the next round. And it's like, well, I mean, is that where you saw yourself? Is that your goal?
You know, that would have been like 30 probes. Like, that could have been 30 probes if it wasn't for this. But that was impressive. I mean, he even has a zealot here. I don't know where those banelings even came from, but...
Yeah.
Like, that stuff just kills you. Like, this game would be over if all these probes died.
Yeah.
So, Astrea respecting it and not dying.
Is he going Colossus tech right now, by the way? Is that what this is for? I think so.
Looks like it.
Interesting.
It feels like Sue's running away with it, though.
Yeah, no, he's teching up very nicely. He's got a good unit set.
77 drones to 71. That's one thing that's cool, too. He's been keeping up with probes every game. He's not afraid to take fourths. I think a lot of Protosses are like, oh, we can't do it. I mean, Broodlord Infestor is just too good. We can't do this.
Yeah, yeah.
And it may be to some extent, but it's better than just...
Well, I think the maximum number of bases you can actually take is 4. Like, if you're taking a 4th base right in this current metagame, and you are not on top of the Zerg while you're doing it, yeah, I'm not confident in any Protoss in the world winning that situation against someone of equal skill.
Sure. But the fact of a lot of people are afraid of taking even a 4th, and they just go for a big 3-base timing before Broodlords, and then if they lose their army, they lose the game, and they're like, well, gave it my best, you know? But it seems like he's got a different plan, right? Like, he's taking a 4th and being aggressive at the same time. And the way I watched him play was very interesting. It was definitely a way to deal with Broodlords that's kind of unique, where it's he basically played run by Protoss is what I want to call it.
Oh, like a gateway-centric, lots of Blink Stalkers play?
Stalkers,
I like that style, actually.
Right? And, like, he's going to, send a couple Zealots here, and then all the Broodlords, like, over here, and then he's like, oh, I'm sending my own over here, and then the Broodlord's like, right, and then he goes over here again.
I think that's a really interesting way to play right now against Zerg.
If you ever attack with the Broodlords across the map, they just base race you and build a million Stalkers at home. Like, it has its weaknesses, but I think if you actually master this, it could be really scary.
I think it's a very tempo-based play, because once they hit a critical mass of Infestors, you're dead doing it.
Exactly.
But if you're doing it just as the transition's hitting before anyone has a real bank, I think it's actually a pretty strong, pretty intelligent way to play, really.
Yeah, it's solid. It gives you full tempo.
I quite like it.
So we'll have to see if that's what he does. Look at these force fields on the right. There's a Disruptor here.
That's an interesting Disruptor.
Does basically nothing, but somehow just demolishes this fight. Okay, I think I watched this replay, and I was like, if you just attacked him here, you would win. I think...
Would he? Let's take a look.
I didn't say that right now. I think I said it in, like, a little bit.
Okay.
We'll see. I mean, he just destroyed that fight.
No, he's got a very strong army. Looks nice.
I think he...
What do you think about these Disruptors being made? That's really interesting. That's not... I don't normally see with this type of army at this type of game Disruptors being made.
I think it was here I said if he just attacked, because I think he turns around now. But that might have been the other replay.
No, I think you might be right. Like, this looks like a... I feel like he can attack right now.
So I think the idea with the Disruptors, it makes a lot of sense, right? So the Ling Bane always comes in forward, the Banelings crash into the army, and the Roach Ravager just kind of reigns supreme back here with nothing attacking it. You send a ball forward, you almost kill all that, and then the Archons are still going to deal with the stuff in the front anyways. So basically, instead of having your Roaches and picking off all that Archon in the front...
So it zones out the Roach Ravager so that your Archons have a longer lifespan or something like that?
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever time it for Banelings, but
yes, it doesn't... that seems so difficult.
It's very difficult. I think it's
that would be a
likely,
very lucky
scenario. I think it's more likely that you just keep crashing on Roach Ravager, because he has to control his Banes anyways, and the Archons up front. Like, a lot of the Archons just die because they're up front, and the Roaches are attacking them, and the Banelings are attacking them. And you kind of have to move your stuff around.
Well, it's a very interesting...
Oh, and retreating makes it's hard to really retreat.
Oh, that's nice.
That's another thing to think about, because a lot of Zerg momentum here is like forward and then back, replenish, forward then back, right? And you keep like whittling the army away. But you can't do that when every time you retreat, a ball comes forward and kills it. Like, look.
Yeah, that's nice.
You can't really do it. I think maybe he just turns around right now, but it's only 3 Broodlords. I think this is it. Like, I think I was saying if he just warped in like a bajillion Stalkers and just went, he probably would do it.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at this...
It's only 3 Broodlords. It's 2 right now. Yeah.
Maybe,
Nah,
yeah.
I mean, this is...
Well, he's just hatched some more Banes, and there's like a lot of Lings on the way. But maybe, yeah. I can see what you're saying. Well, he is trying a little bit.
I like the synergy on the army. It feels like it's there. It has ideas. I'm just wondering if I'd like Colossus more, or if I'd like this more. It feels like Colossus are a little bit worse and a little bit more clunky retreating. But the Disruptors are kind of clunky too, retreating.
Yeah, well, they're good on like a fighting retreat, I think.
So here we go for this, right? Like this is the stuff I was talking about, where I think your heavy gateway style can really punish. How many gateways is it? 9. Okay, it'll get bigger.
Not that many. Yeah, he has 3 more on the way.
I think it gets even bigger than that at some point. Wait, he's getting +3.
I like tempo plays in
general. We also talked about he should. I think he skips +3 armor altogether. I was like, you should actually get a second forge if you're ever going to play like this.
Yeah, if you're playing gateway style, 2 forges.
Yeah,
100%.
Because it actually would give him so much more like longevity in his zealots and stuff.
Even plasma upgrades are really reasonable.
I think he gets plasma, but never armor. And it just feels like his army could be way better.
Yeah.
Especially with +3. I think Sue plays +3 adrenalinks.
Damn.
Right? So it's like your armor upgrades would do a huge difference there.
Yeah.
Look at the way he moves his army. I really like it.
Yeah, I like how he's rotating around.
He's just got vision on it. Like, look at the vision. It's really sick, actually. Like, he's got full vision on the left side, and he has vision on the middle, like here and here.
Look at this. We're only halfway done this game. How can that even be?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, that's exciting that this game is only halfway done.
Yeah. And he's playing, like, so... there's, like, so much movement and so much aggression.
Yeah, I love the 2 groups and the prism.
Yeah, this is, like,
He's, like, cleaning top right, poking bottom left, and he has a prism down here in the bottom right. It's, like, that all together is, like, really scary, really cool.
Especially if you have Broodlord and Fester.
I'd love to see DT blink, by the way. I think that would fit this style really, really well. He's getting the plasma, like you said. Let me see. He's up to 14
The only thing that
gates.
I would love to see is a double, like a second forge. And we get plasma and armor, because if you're gonna keep pumping up, he's getting a 5th. Like he is going.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, this is.
I love it. It's a very fast way to play.
Yeah, this is a really interesting way, a really interesting take on the problem of Broodlord Infester. That's what it feels like. 88 probes. He's got like, he is actually playing like a Zerg right now.
Yeah.
Like
it kind of reminds me of how you know when Swarm hosts were all the rage in Heart of the Swarm. Hero started doing stuff somewhat like this. He was having the best success against Zerg, and he was starting to be like, okay, suddenly I'm hitting everywhere. How do you like that? You know, and trying to pull him apart like that. I think that this way to play, it's funny because if anything starts going wrong or they hit critical masses of things, you just die.
Look, he's just everywhere. Look. This is like, I really, really love the decision on what the army prongs composed of. You know what I mean? It feels like he has okay, look. This is what's my thoughts on this. He has a Broodlord prong, and he has a ground army prong. It feels like this, and I could be totally wrong. And the way I say that is this army and this army, they're composed of different things.
Yeah.
One is like a possible, like, it would suck to lose this, don't get me wrong. But it would suck to lose this more. You know what I mean?
So,
and also the way I'm trying to think of this is this army, one of these armies is actually better at engaging one thing, and one of them is better at engaging another. It feels like this army would be way better at engaging the ground army, Roach Ravager, Ling, or whatever it is, or Banes. He's got Disruptors, he's got Archons up front. This army feels like he's got the retreat, like get out of here, Storm retreat, get out of here, right?
Yeah.
This army feels like the get out of here army, and this army feels like the punch army.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Let me put it a different way too, because I use this style sometimes when I play. It's what I look at this as is this is the main army.
Yes.
This is the original army, right? And so he still has it, and these are the leftover quality units that he has. And he's switching to this style that's very multi-prong, harassment-based, hitting multiple locations. This is the mobile army that he just warps in and it goes and does stuff, and this is the main army. So that's the way I look at it. I don't think that, like, for instance, I could see, like, let's say a bunch of spines go up here. Maybe he relocates this army to that side and uses this side for the gateway army. But either way, I think it has more to do with, you can't really split up these types of units because the micro is so intense. You can't have that intense of micro on both sides.
That's true. But
so you're going to get more value out of, like, this is very easy to micro, very easy to use.
Right.
This one, it has more finesse. So I feel like that's
kind of where I'm going with it too. But at the same time, it does feel like this is army preservation. These two Templar too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a nice thing to add in there, because I think a lot of people who play this style won't even have those two High Templar there, because again, this is just like, you make this army, that's your dirty army. You're getting in there and messing things up with that.
Look at him, he's everywhere too. I really like the potential for this style. It feels like there's a lot of potential here.
Oh, didn't you send me a screenshot of this?
Did I?
I think you did.
I don't know, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you were watching this replay with him, and you actually sent me a screenshot of that battle right there.
It's possible.
Either that, or I'm from the future, and I already saw this replay or something, and maybe the world explodes, and I'm supposed to save it, but I spend too much time playing StarCraft, so I keep reliving it.
that makes sense.
It's one or the other. Okay, so DT Blink, Observer Speed, I love it. I love these upgrades he's getting in the later game.
So one thing I would like everyone to note: when was the last time you watched Sue attack Astrea?
You know, he's playing a very defensive play here.
It's not happened, because if Sue can't really do it, because Astrea's had such strong presence on the map, and Sue's totally aware of it, like, it's been everywhere, right? Like, he knows that there's presence. He knows that if he moves out, he gets punished for it. Like, he needs to have spines, he needs to have banes, he needs to have links, he needs to have that defensive army before he ever attacks.
Yeah.
So, like, we haven't seen a lot from Astrea's position, but as soon as they press everyone, I bet you there's just that, what I'm talking about, like that defense of spines.
Well, I think that's... I think that...
Look over here. He's starting it up, right? Like, this is what you need to do before you can ever attack.
Yeah, I think it's very appropriate for the unit set that he's going for, is that right now you have to, like, know your role within the game. And Astrea has chosen a very aggressive style here, so you must play the defender. Now, if Sue randomly had all the Hydralisk upgrades right now, okay, he could switch into Hydraling Bane and go kill Astrea, and Astrea would die in 2 seconds to that.
He would, what the fuck?
He would die, so he'd be like, what was that? Okay, so, but based on, like, the tech roots
imagine
that
going
Sue went down.
Broodlord into Ling Hydra Bane. Like,
oh,
just
dude.
having all of those in the back.
if he had a bunch of missile attack upgrades and the Hydra upgrades, I swear to God, you make Hydraling Bane. Look at that army. You know how hilarious that would be?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's erased in a half of a second.
Plus, it's so mobile. Like, you could hit both of those flanks pretty easily, too.
It doesn't look like it, but this army is actually better against Broodlord Infestor than it is against Hydraling Bane. But yeah, I think that Sue is playing his role appropriately here.
Yeah, and he's also, to notice, he's forced into this role.
Yes,
like, he does not want to play this.
Yeah.
But this is like... This is one he may want to play.
I think
this.
you could want to play this. Yeah, because it's
want to play
stronger in theory.
But the idea is that Astrea has made the decision for Sue.
Yes.
Like, Sue was not given the decision, really.
Yeah.
I mean, his decision is either give up all of his bases and possibly attack, or defend everything.
Yeah, you that's not how you're going to want to play with Broodlord Infestor.
Yeah. Look at this speed. This isn't ×2, guys. Look at that. He's just doing things everywhere. Look at those hotkeys.
Yeah, look at that. He doesn't just use like 2 or 3 hotkeys like some bimbos do.
Nobody should do that.
A lot of people do though.
Ah.
Doesn't have prism speed?
No, he does.
Oh, okay. It's hard to tell in these plus.
Oh my God.
That was a move right there.
That was a very decisive blink.
Yeah, I like it.
I would say it works with this type.
Hey!
Oh!
Good try. Good try. Oh, you should be running though. Oh. High Templar auto attacks.
I mean, it's possible, like you said, right? Like, you could be replenishing these with better...
Yeah. No, I like it. I think that overall that was okay.
Wait, this is the first series. He wins this series.
Yes.
Oh my God.
But we don't know which game.
Yeah.
Or maybe you do. I don't.
I don't remember. This looks very similar to the other games.
Can we pop down here real quick? Just want to see what's left over. Okay, so you never got the hatch.
He's got an observer there. Look at this. He's just taking bases. I really like the decision of, like, the way he's playing here.
Yeah, the fact that he's continually taking bases and trying to poke in with prisms.
Have you guys ever seen a Zerg player, like, not able to expand in the Protoss, just taking every base? Like, it just kind of feels like reverse roles. Like, normally there's a huge Ravager, Rogue Ling, like, army just pressuring everywhere.
Yeah,
and the Protoss is, like, limited.
And the way he's been able to punish is looking at the armies and be like, okay, this is how I can engage, and Sue is not splitting exactly perfectly or doesn't have the exact right composition.
So look at
against
the
this.
armies again, by the way. So this is the stock. He's got a ton of stalkers, 2 archons, and storms, and then he's got this.
You know what's getting so funny about this too, because as these compositions really change, because the compositions that Astrea is using, the unit sets that he's using, are changing so dramatically. Like, let's take a look. He has no mortals left. He's on Zealot Stalker in the late. We're 17 minutes in against Sue, and he's using Zealot Stalker, right? That's really funny because any tier 2 units actually beat that.
Yeah,
think about that. If you're like, if you're on like Roachbane, or if you're on Hydras, Hydras, like stuff like that will kill it. But he's just trying to utilize mobility here. It's like a beautiful usage of just kind of like fundamental RTS play, right? You're like, okay, where it's almost one of these like deep philosophy art of war things where he is strong, I am fast. Like it's that type of thing where he can run around and choose his fights, and Sue has to float back and forth with his slow units.
And the armies would actually be worse. If we had a bunch of immortals in either of these sides, you're actually just having units you may lose that are really expensive, that don't pack the same punch as
they don't do that much. That's not what you're looking for right now. You're looking to stretch Sue too much so that he can't defend everything.
He had those units to survive the tier 2 game, and then he gets rid of them for the tier 3 game for his tier 1 units. It's
awesome.
Yeah,
it's like a tech jump up and then you tech down later in the game. It's like awesome.
We're going like we've been in there for 20 minutes and you just go back into Marine Marauder with Medevacs. You're just like, no more ghosts, no more tanks.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm going.
The funny thing is, these types of moves are really, really difficult to pull off. And sometimes what you see is someone's losing the game and can't remake their carriers, so they make these units. But to go in there with this type of plan, it's a more tempo-based approach. It's a much harder thing to actually pull off because you have to make so many intelligent moves and so many quick moves in a row. But moves like this, we're like reaching different levels of how hard StarCraft can really be.
It feels like it was almost like, look at this, 66
to 88
workers,
probes.
88 probes. Look at the Nexi and the probe. Like look at all the the Zerg is actually getting squeezed out. And I actually think this is why Astrea was like so fine with that blink, where we're like, we didn't even really know.
Absolutely.
We didn't even really know. It could have been like this entire army just here, the blink, and it loses everything.
Well, if his entire army was there, the other army was going to butcher everything on the other side of the map.
Right. So he just took it.
Absolutely. Yeah. If he can trade stalkers right now, because he's got more workers, he's got more bases. He's exploding. He wants to trade at a slight deficit the entire time.
Look at this.
If he can do that, he'll win. Yeah.
Somehow maintaining a unit's lost advantage. Look at the units lost here. 576 to 151. Like, this game has been going on for 17 minutes, and we've had trades almost the entire game. The resource lot rate is somehow almost even, which is impressive.
My gut is that this will go... What it'll do is Sue will get more cost efficient over time, but Astrea will continue to mine a bit more.
Yeah.
Because this type of style, when you're expanding this much, you're happy to trade at a slight deficit, I think.
Oh, of course.
Because you can do it, because you can afford it.
88 to 66 is a huge difference, especially when there's fresh Nexi coming up.
Because what Sue is doing, in essence, is defending and trying to get the most cost-efficient army that you can get in the whole game, which is Broodlord and Fester. Whereas Astrea is using the least cost-efficient units that Protoss has to try to run around and bombard everywhere.
It's totally true.
And the clash of these two styles going at it is just beautiful. This is why StarCraft is such a fucking good game.
Look at this, 4 stalkers. Like, they're actually killing
This is awesome. And now the Broodlord's like, oh, attack the stalkers, and the Zealots are like, yeah, go ahead and do that, so we can kill everything else.
He's gonna get this base, and now he's gonna go in as soon as he sees the whole army.
Yeah, as soon as anything else comes, go hit the other. Oh, I think those stalkers just ate it.
Yeah, they did, but he's not looking at that because he doesn't care about those stalkers. He's getting infestors. You know, each infestor here, like if he gets 2 infestors there, it's almost worth losing all of those stalkers. Like with this economy, I would say it's
look at that. Look at that. He's killed a few infestors. He's gotten a piece of that army. I feel like this could have moved more quickly. Wow, that's all right. That's baller right there.
God, that was disgusting. Okay, so now all those infestors and Broodlords have to come over here again.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish that this had hit quicker. Yeah, I wish it had hit quicker, because if he hits this at the same time that there's still units on the left, he's going to do a lot more.
I agree.
He's still doing a lot.
That he didn't,
He was setting up another base, is what it was. We saw it because we were following his camera.
It's possible that he knows he could do that as well and come back. But I'm kind of interested because he could have done that as well. Maybe he was just playing it really safe. Because I don't know about the Archon warping, honestly. But it almost feels like he wants to attack now with that many Archons.
He just he had a lot of gas, is what it was. He had a ridiculous gas bank, like 3K.
That's funny. This makes sense because he has so many zealots being warped in. Look at this.
Amazing,
this
the
beautiful.
DTs.
And he just backs out immediately.
And going into some disruptors as well. I like that addition because the majority of the army at this point is infestors.
Yeah, this is nice. I think he fucks up here maybe. I can't remember.
12 stalkers. Oh,
it's a high. Oh, that was cute. He almost. Yeah, that was pretty cute.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, that was close. Oh yeah, this is the big mistake. I remember. Like, what is this? What's going on right now?
Ooh.
Yeah, he makes a big mistake.
Things could go wrong here. I could foresee a world in which things go wrong here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's slow it down and watch. Let's watch disaster. Oh my god, those fungals. Oh, okay, recall a piece.
I love the like it feels like he's making the best of a really bad situation.
Yeah.
He just assumes these are never getting out. He recalls all the Templar, right?
That was rough. And the thing is, I think that there were some mistakes based on the strategy he's been using up to now. And again, this is all really complicated, but he was just moving around basically as a death ball, which is not what his game plan has been, and it is what Sue's game plan is. Sue wants to fight his whole army versus your whole army, whereas Astrea wants to have multiple locations of units, and it looks like he's going to do that again, but he just lost a huge chunk moving it all around together.
It still feels like he's actually recovered quite a... Yeah, it feels like he actually recovered his big mistake pretty well.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not dead. He's not dead, but obviously that was not... I don't think that was the correct move.
Man, +3 armor would be such a massive difference in this style.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I think the hugest takeaway here is like if you had +3 and +3 shields with this army, you can actually just throw away zealots forever, and they kill so much. Look at that.
Definitely do agree.
So this is how he wants to play, right? Like the death ball's knocking on the door, and I think the idea is if you have enough neck side, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
like
Look, he's making them now on the right-hand side of the map. Perfect. He's quickly moving in, getting damage done everywhere. Yeah. Where does he go? Does he go towards the main or towards an expand?
I think either option's fine. The main is a little bit riskier, probably. Oh, Broodlord's here.
Ooh, I don't know about that blink, but okay. Ooh, those banelings are actually killer. Oh, feedback, those are so high.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, nice.
Oh. It actually feels like his army's not bad, right? Like, this is the worst army ever.
Oh, yeah, he's
but imagine he wasn't like, this wasn't a thing. He'd probably just win. It goes on for another 6 minutes. It's surprising. Like, look at this bank. If he could warp in a sick round in either position, I think he could...
I think he will warp in a giant round of stalkers and go kill those broodlords. Those broodlords are not gonna... He's gonna win this game. Yeah, see?
Look at that.
16 stalkers, he's gonna just go kill.
Is he gonna recall this stuff out?
No, you keep this stuff up here. You want everything chasing this because you want to go kill these broodlords for free.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing is he blinks these out, but he doesn't walk them home.
Yeah, no, I think you should keep them down here. Absolutely, yeah. You don't want your army to ever join up. The one time he did that, we saw him take a terrible moment.
Hello, broodlords. What are you doing over here? Oh, and he's out. That feels good still. Like, all of this is so good. Like, look at the base count still, right? Like, even though he lost these two, like,
well, one of them was almost mined out, so it doesn't even really matter that much.
Yeah, it still feels his economy is much better. 74 to 59. Yeah, it's still doing pretty good. The problem is the broodlord or the infestor retention rate's been pretty good so far.
Yeah, but he's picking some off here and there.
Oh, that was really risky. It somehow doesn't get punished super hard there.
It certainly was. Oof. I don't know. I'd say that's a pretty good punish.
Yeah. So why I was so excited when I watched this is everything that's happened so far, like all the loss itself feels like it's something that could totally have been gone the other way. You know what I mean? like he's playing such a good game, Astrea. He's playing a really fucking good game. Technically playing amazingly. His decision making's great. I mean, there are some things he could do better. He could do a bit more multi-prong like synergy. But overall, his strategy was great. His execution was great. He got punished a few times, but if it was played just a little differently.
It's tough because you rarely see games like this, and it seems like this was his plan, which you almost never see. So it's hard to even study other players doing this. And every single game like this is similar to a base trade where everything's going to be very different, very weird, and you're going to have some general rules, but there's nothing exact to follow. Whereas something like Broodlord Infestor, there's something pretty close to exact to follow. With most late games, there's something pretty close to exact that you can look at and be like, this is kind of optimum.
As soon as I'm safe, I'm going,
optimal,
like, that kind of stuff, and just I'm building the big death ball and then go.
Whereas this has a lot more feel to it. You have to almost intuit what you're doing and kind of feel out every situation differently.
Like, where is he defending?
I loved it, though. I loved it. This is a super cool, super fun looking style.
Thank you, TY, for the 740 viewers.
Damn. Thanks,
we
TY.
Appreciate you.
You're the man.
You're the man.
The greatest caster of StarCraft 2. Yeah. Don't tell Tasis I said that. Or JYP.
Alright, so 4 more minutes. It's still possible that he wins. Like, it is going...
No, it's possible. Here, let's slow it slightly. It's going a little bit too fast.
Sure. I don't like these three.
Oh, my God.
And, those are stalkers, though. Not zealots. If those were zealots, all of those would go up.
Yeah, they would all be dead.
I think that's why we're freaking out. We're not used to stalkers being warped in.
Yeah.
Damn, that DT just got poked. I feel like at this point in the game, it's really hard to make decisions because you have to weigh, like, every unit has so much value now.
Yeah.
Like, as this game goes on, every
unit...
But
I think that Astrea has such great tools, too. The fact that he has some Psystorm left and Blink Stalkers, when the economy gets very low in games like this, Blink Stalkers become so unbelievably valuable. Like, if you both have almost nothing, Blink Stalkers beat everything. Yeah. Literally everything.
Yeah, as long as they don't get caught by Ling Bane, I guess.
Well, no, what I'm saying is when everything gets real small, like look how much money they have. They have nothing, right? So once you get down to like nothing left in the game, the Blink Stalker suddenly is the most powerful unit between both races.
Man, if it wasn't this base, but it was this base that was still alive.
So look at the armies right now. This it's a little bit hard. 8 Infestor, 7 Broodlord is really nothing.
But it's getting there, right? Like if he actually had no links here, he probably would just demolish this army. 62 links is quite a lot.
It is. You got to get some 6 Psystorms or Disruptor hits.
Also, if the economy for Astrea was just a little bit better.
This is making me want to go play some PvZ right now. This game, I'm super serious. Like, it's getting me wiggly because the thing is, playing late game, like trying to make Tempests or Carriers against the Broodlord Infestor right now, is just like, I have no want to do that.
Yeah, because
I'm like, should I do that or clean out my kitchen? I'm like, maybe my kitchen actually, but. This style, I'm like, oh, I'll do this all day. Are you kidding me? I will blink around and run charge lots in everywhere.
This is one of the most satisfying wins, too, I think, if you have a win like this.
Oh, yeah. You win this game and you're like, I'm better than he is.
20, yeah, it's a 25-minute game where you're killing with stalkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does... I really love, even, like, look at how aware he is of the game right now. You know what I mean? Like, he's looking at things like, how can I lose this game? Well, if he's got this base or if he's got this base, I'm just dead. Like, he is still, like, completely in it, mentally.
Yeah, where are the DTs right now? Are they on the right side? Okay, so there's a couple things that I've seen this game that I'd really like change. Like, I wish he had only one DT to, like, you know, don't put them together right now.
Right.
Because everything's so valuable at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, if he gets that, it's not bad. Imagine that, you kill that and make a Void Ray.
See, this is the synergy I'd like to, like, at all points in the game. Like, he sends the DTs in, and he's attacking at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Super important. Ooh.
The only thing is that, what's he looking at right now?
Oh, I guess I know who wins now.
Yeah.
Ooh, pretty bad. That was painful.
Okay.
Yeah, it's over, okay.
But he tried.
Okay,
like,
that
even
was...
this last blink, you can't even really fault him for it.
No, you gotta do it.
Totally.
You gotta do it.
Makes sense.
What a cool game that was. That was super cool.
You gotta be excited for the fact that he wins this series. that we're watching right now.
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
a 0-1 disadvantage, game 1.
Yeah, yeah. Damn. So cool.
I wonder how much the Koreans know about Astrea.
Well, they're learning. They're learning.
I've always thought it would be hilarious if Astrea was like, if he poised himself as a fan or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's say he comes in with, like, a Splice shirt, and he's like, oh, like, I'm a huge fan of you, and then he comes into TY and just slaps him down with, like, execution, like, out of this world. He probably would think, oh, yeah, this guy's just a fan. You know, like, he's coming to the qualifiers to get his signatures and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
that would be great.
I bet you they know who he is.
Oh, they know he's now, yeah.
But I'm saying, when he beats Sue, they're like, oh, my God.
You only have one series to do it, too, because as soon as the Estrella beats Sue, they're like, what? Everybody's asking everybody in Korean, like, whoa, 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 whoa. Who's this guy? Okay, so he actually goes Gate Nexus again, which is great because we saw DRG went Nexus first.
Hey, there it is.
It's a different variation of the same build. Or did he go? He went Nexus first. I remember, but he's doing the same thing.
But look, a Baneling Nest.
What's a Baneling Nest gonna do, Artosis, against this?
Well, I don't know yet.
Okay, so I watched this.
Yeah.
And I gave my input on it. So it feels like this is basically invincible to Banelings at all points, right?
Sure.
Like, you could go with 13 or 14 Banes, but even if one sentry is here, like, that is a force field, you're probably not going to get in still. So he doesn't leave sentries here, and I think he gets mined out and memed on a little bit. But realistically, this should just be a game 1, straight up. Like, these, I think he leaves all his sentries here. Oh, okay, wait. What does he scout? He scouts something, I think.
Well, he just built shield batteries. He has to know.
He knows it's coming. So at this point right now, why are all the sentries sitting here? You know what I mean?
Why wouldn't they be? Oh, yeah. No, he's got to send something up
like
there.
Even if one sentry was here, he could force field this right now.
Well, he could also kill the drone.
How many drones are here?
3?
If he force fielded here, he actually wouldn't. There'd be no way. But like, you know what I mean, right? Like, it just he gets punished right now. If one sentry was there, one.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's no way in fucking hell.
Yeah, with the 2 shield batteries. Yeah.
Like, there's nothing in this world. I could have 15, 20 Banelings and this would not be...
You know, I think that this has something to do with why this is also a very strong build for him to use, is because no one's really seen it or done it, which means he hasn't practiced with it that much on the ladder to hit all these different circumstances to have this grinded out that that's exactly what he needs.
It just feels like even still, he should have assessed that the only possible way he would ever have any issues is by this.
I think so.
So this was just a mistake, in my opinion. But
it was certainly a mistake. I see why it was made, though.
Yeah. But even still, I mean, he still wins this game. So.
Yeah, it's Sentry Immortal push from here.
I like this, by the way.
Yeah, that's
like,
nice.
He actually was able to utilize his wall still. But it just feels like this was a missed free win, actually. Like, how would you ever...
Yeah.
If these sentries were here, I guarantee you Sue just leaves. Like, you are not coming back from a 3rd Nexus and a completely failed Lingbane all-in.
Yeah.
Like, it's not happening. I don't care who you are. I mean, he doesn't, and he still...
When you see a sentry there, you're basically like, oh gosh, I hope that TY makes it into Super Tournament so I have work.
That's funny. As the second best refill caster?
Yeah.
The second... Oh, wait. I guess that's probably already gone around. I have to imagine that meme's already been made.
Yeah. Poor Sue. Hey, look at that. He's going to go into Colossus again. He's definitely got his own style. It's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, to make your own style work at this level is really cool for me.
The question is, will it remain, right? Like, let's say that Astrea just lived here for 2 years. Is this style going to actually be something that can be used? Or is it something that people will start to slane when they get to used to it?
I think that given more time, it actually gets stronger. And my argument is that he's going to have more practice against everything, whereas the other people are only going to have practice against one thing.
True, and that's why you catch people on the ladder that mech against Protoss, right? And of course, some mech builds came out and stuff, but they're kind of gone now.
Sure.
But the thing is, normally that'll eventually go away when people hit a certain amount of games against it.
Fundamentally wrong with Astrea's play, though?
There might be, is what I'm saying.
There may be. I guess we don't have
Yeah.
enough info yet.
Yeah.
But it does feel like given more time.
I think right now Blink Colossus is cool.
Yeah.
I think it's cool right now, but yeah, I don't know.
I think it
what
can
will
go
happen
either way
with it.
still. It could
Right
get
now.
stronger or it could get weaker. We don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But it feels like it should in theory get stronger, in my opinion. Just based off of the way everybody's playing in this matchup right now and everybody else is playing against certain things. It feels like Astrea would be getting practice against everything and everyone else would only be getting practice against Astrea. You know what I mean? But unless everyone starts going Stalker Colossus, in which case that would be a huge nerf to Astrea. And specifically this build I think would get weaker for sure. Because people would metagame it a bit more. But that's the whole point of this build. I don't think he sees this as his solid backbone. This seems like a build you pull out once or twice.
Yeah, maybe. I just like that he already has his blink done as the Spire finishes. Really like that.
9 mutas, yeah. It's very interesting.
It's going quite a few mutas.
He's very aware of everything. His scouting is great. Look at his shield batteries are on the way. Stalker's already well placed. He sees a muta crossing the map. Like, he is so in tune with this game. Which is very exciting for me. To watch a player of like his notoriety do this. You know what I mean? Like, these are the things I would see from the best of the best as well. Like, if this was Neeb or Astrea, it could be, you know, like some small things could change and it would feel more like a Neeb.
Yeah. I really like muta play, man.
Yeah.
God, I do. Every time I see him, I'm like, yes.
It has felt a lot better, right? Like,
Yeah.
Blink already being done, it's just...
Oh, yeah.
I
Like,
don't
he's
know.
lost some probes and stuff, but he's gearing up for an attack that's going to be so scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Archon ads. I think that's so important. Because you are Mr. Deathball this game. It's completely opposite of the first game.
Reversed, yeah.
And look at that, he's making a ton of cans as natural. I love it. It kind of is going to zone mutas out from that
What do
direction.
you think of the double Stargate right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. What do I think about that? Like, is that...
Triple
I don't
Stargate.
think I actually like it.
Triple Stargate.
Like, I mean, if you have some sort of inside intel in their head that they're only going to make mutas for the whole game...
Well, I think at this point you do feel like that's going to happen.
Yeah, I guess
I
so.
mean, that's a lot of mutas. You're never going to make that many mutas without some investment in muta upgrades and other things.
Yeah, you got +1, but you never start another upgrade. The thing is, like, obviously Phoenixes are going to counter them pretty darn hard, but... Like, I'm trying to think of a weaker unit composition than Stalker Phoenix. This isn't the beginning of a PvP, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, this is a PvZ, and we're 12 minutes in, so, like, is Stalker Phoenix something that I would want to have? Like, well, I mean, if they will not stop making them, maybe.
God!
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's pretty
Look
funny.
at that scout.
That'll buy you some time.
He sees a late hive too. I think you feel like $1 million actually right now if you're Astrea, because you see all these spines, which is like this is like the most muta ever. Muta.
Yeah, that's true. That does.
And he
point
sees a
towards
late
muta.
hive too. Like the hive is not done. There's no greater spy right now.
Are you? Yeah.
You feel really good right now. You're seeing this many mutas.
Yeah.
Muta upgrades as well. Like,
Well, as soon as you have your Phoenix range, you're gonna really go to town. But the thing is, if he's not getting into either Infestor or Corruptor with this, it's like what?
yeah. But if he goes Corruptor, well, then again, you could just kill him with Blink Stalkers then too.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you can do this though, where you could use the Phoenixes to defend your base. Maybe he's afraid of, like like base trace muta.
Yeah. Well,
Base trace muta with this many spines, you never really ever are going to defend with Stalker against base trace muta.
yeah. You literally actually won't.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
So maybe immediately he saw this as base race muta.
Yeah.
Especially with this
Well,
many spines, like that is.
Have you ever seen a game with mass muta that wasn't a base trade at the
No,
end? It's
never.
always
Yeah.
a base trade. That's what it is. It's the strategy. So yeah, that makes sense to sit defensively with that.
So it makes sense. Look at this. This is actually base race muta.
Mm-hmm.
And these Phoenixes will have infinite synergy as long as they're just controlled well. They'll never die
and,
here.
Well, once you have the range upgrade, it's easy.
So
Without
he
it's
can
hard.
almost just A-move this army
Mm-hmm.
and just control this and probably win this game. He has to worry about this a little though. This is quite scary. Also, that's miscontrol, but I like it now that the game has turned out this way. It feels like this is the better choice.
And look, he is just A moving while micro in the mute. Yeah.
Yeah, this is all he has to do. And he's still making 3 Phoenixes at a time.
The one thing I would truly love to see is a Dark Shrine.
Oh, that'd
Like,
be sick.
every single time you're in a base trade, you need a Dark Shrine. It's like the most powerful building in base trades.
I agree. Do you think you can tell that this is what it is immediately when you see that many spines, too? I think...
Well, as soon as you see actual mass mutas, the game always ends in a base trade. It just always does, because the mutas... Like, anyone can make a composition that can beat Serral's mass muta. Okay? We can get, like, a guy in Diamond, and he can put a composition together that mass muta can't beat.
Right.
Like, in a heads-up fight, right?
Sure.
It's more of a whittling situation, so... Yeah, that's...
I like his decision-making a lot now. Like, the 3 Stargate makes so much more sense to me.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Like, originally I didn't like it
felt
either. It
very
felt the same,
weird.
but
before.
now it feels like it makes total sense.
Well, it felt like a Ling Bane something would beat him.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, it was just like a million Ravager Ling Bane or something.
Yeah. That it felt like something like that would just crush.
I wonder if we go back, I wonder if we can see if he sees a certain amount of mutas and then he throws down those 3 Stargates. You know what I mean? Like, if it's more
He
than
saw a lot of mutas.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how it's like you see like 5 or like a million.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
there's no
5 is
between.
the actual number. I think it's more like 7 or 8 mutas
Sure.
or a million. But
the point stands, though, right?
yeah, once you start seeing 12 plus mutas,
They're
that's
going. They're going for it.
yeah, they're pretty invested at that point.
Even now, I feel like his army is so good. Like,
Yeah, well, the Phoenixes are really dominating
like
right
there's
now.
Broodlords, and he still doesn't care.
Yeah, and the thing is, he never even got a carapace upgrade for his flyers. Look at that.
Yeah, he got the attacker.
So, like, these +1 Phoenixes are actually just destroying the Corruptors even.
you could probably heads up fight this with the Midas or the Phoenixes soon. Like, given
That's one thing I learned from Roddy, is he was telling me that if you get +1 your Phoenixes, they actually fight Corruptors pretty damn well.
yeah,
Like,
with the range, yeah.
yeah.
At this point, there's just not enough to stop this. Look at this army. Like,
Jeez.
how are you gonna stop that? I liked it. I like this game. This is just a good game.
That was a cool game. I liked it from both sides, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, it really didn't feel like Sue did anything strategically wrong either. Like, this was the decision he made, and it feels like Astrea actually just played a solid game with that in mind, you know? He was able to identify what the strategy was very fast, and even when it looked weird, he was right.
Yeah.
Which is very rare, I think. When we usually say something looks weird, it actually is just weird. But it made a lot of sense, seeing how the game was played out.
All right. Guys, don't forget, thank you for watching, but if you want to support In Depth, check out patreon.com/indepthsc2.
Also, you guys can donate and sub. That's a way to support us in one way or another.
Check out No Regrets stream when he streams.
Yeah. Which is never.
Yeah, you've done a little bit lately. A little bit.
Yeah. I'll get more once we get settled in, because it's been really hectic. So we see our first Nexus first, and he opened with the gate the first game as well. So it seems he was talking about this. He's like, this was, you know what this drone is, right?
It's the hatchery block.
That's the hatch block drone. Guess what you ain't blocking, Sue?
Not
You ain't blocking a
hatch, that's
Nexus
for sure.
first. That's
But
for
now
sure.
you can go triple hatch, right?
Yeah, you can, but it's
Yeah.
it's not even great still.
But it's the best you can do.
It's the best thing. I think if you're Astrea, you can actually predict that too, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just predicted, and like, you know, that's
Well,
obviously
that
he
makes
can.
sense, yeah.
It's like that's what I would do if I scouted that with a hatch block drone. Yeah, no, that's cool. And so we have a good idea of what he did against DRG
Scarlett
now
said
too.
this is absolute garbage.
What is? Oh, this here?
This is just like the worst thing ever. She
Yeah,
said.
this looks not good.
Astrea defended it. He said it's good because they make a bunch of Zerglings.
Okay. Wow, that Zealot doesn't want to die.
Yeah.
If he hadn't gotten Zealot number 2 surrounded, that would have been much better. But
the only reason why this is good is because Sue just goes for an all-in. Because he's like, oh,
it seemed wrong.
Yeah. I don't know about this. This is the one thing I'm not sure about. It seems like our consensus is it's trash, but it works if the other person attacks you afterwards, like this. Which is a bad thing to bank on.
I like watching you laugh at Zerg's failed banning bus.
Oh, because I have the most empathy for them right now. I've had a million games like this.
That doesn't sound like an empathetic laugh. That sounds like a very much more devious laugh.
Perhaps. Perhaps it's nice watching someone else fail their baneling bus every now and then.
It's crazy. This goes on 12 more minutes. Look at that.
Yeah. So we talked about this game, I remember. Because this gets thwarted so badly, and we have +1 already on the way, I think both of us decided or thought that it would be a really good idea to go for a counter. Like a counter all in to some extent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it just doesn't work, so then the game plays out.
No, but it seems like that would be an
I think
intelligent
it was supposed
play.
to work, and he just didn't attack well. Like he just kind of went in. I'm like, what? And he had immortals on the map and stuff. I'm like, well, what's going on here? So we'll see what happens. Yeah, like he's building a ton of drones.
Like,
right
did he feel like pressured to just go?
Well, I mean, he's.
No, I mean, like you say, immortals were on the map.
Yeah, he did not. He should not have just went. It was just like completely mismanaged.
Yeah, like you can actually sit and wait a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Right, not bad.
Like, this stuff's really good.
Yeah. It's pretty strong. Where is the army gonna come, or is it just?
I don't know.
Are we playing PvP or?
He's taking his time. He's taking his sweet ass time.
Okay.
I mean, this is one way to do it. It's not terrible. It's just that if he's gonna do it this way, he either goes for the throat, or he has to tactically play it, like really think it out, right? There's no in between. There's no like fast going now with this army because this army is quite expensive and quite.
His charge in +1 about to finish here.
Yeah, this is a good timing. It's just that.
Seems it.
Like, look at this fight. What is this? There's an immortal here.
Oh no.
There's an immortal here.
Oh no.
And look at the zealots. They're all just literally. This is the worst fight I've ever seen. There's a zealot. There's zealots.
Why are those
attacking
two
this
immortals in the middle of the
extractor.
map?
I don't know.
Okay. Well.
Like, this is just bad. The zealots are going forward. I mean, he's not doing any damage. There's just. I mean, like now it's going good. This should have been the original fight though. And even now, look, the zealots just doing things.
Are those two immortals going to come, or are they holding the watchtower?
Oh, they're holding the watchtower.
Okay. Just want to make sure that they were doing something strategically significant. Watchtowers are really good, so I get it.
Once this all comes together, it actually does better than everything that just happened.
I bet, yeah.
Watch.
That's 2 more immortals.
So watch. Now, this army is just a million times better than the first one.
Oh my god.
Look at.
Hey, Elise. How you doing? Oh.
She's.
Would you like to go in depth with us, Elise?
Okay, so like this fight was already better than the last one, to be honest. Right?
Yeah, those 2 immortals. That's kind of a heartbreaker. If he lost this game, that would have been a real sad subway ride home.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically what we were saying. I was saying is that this fight would have just been a million times better, and he's still going for it, but he actually doesn't do bad. Like, we'll see how this goes. You having a good time, Elise? Working with us?
Elise.
You gonna go now? No?
I'm gonna give Mackie your candy.
Not her candy.
That's the greatest. That's the greatest way to get kids to do something is threatening giving their candy to someone else.
Well then, so. I mean, at this point, I think we're losing a lot of our steam, but it seems like the fighting has been okay enough to justify the game.
This game's weird. Like, I'm glad that he wins it because he should have won it. Yeah. But when he didn't bring the immortals, it's and the fight still went like okay,
afterwards,
and then
it went okay.
Yeah,
which is weird.
And imagine if those 2 immortals had been there from the beginning, right? And it had been a well executed attack. Like, you give Zest that set of units, and he fucking kills Sue and Cyril
at the same time.
At the same time, okay?
That's funny.
All right, we'll go a little bit quicker through this one because we're running out of time a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, he's just doing a good job, honestly.
Yeah, no, he's playing some good quality stuff. Okay, everything's so red there. God. He goes into that Colossus tech again. That's so interesting. He just really loves it.
I think it actually is a Disruptor.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Which makes a lot of sense considering it's heavy roachling.
Yeah, okay. No, I like it. I like seeing stuff like that, too.
So I think if they both didn't keep doing this, like they would have both been in good spots, like different times of the game. Like Sue now feels like he's making the mistake, and here it felt like Astrea was making the mistake, and then Sue made the mistake with the Bainley all in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just back and forth.
Yeah, that's true. They keep thinking they can hurt each other, and they can't.
Yeah.
These are a couple guys trying to kill each other with foam swords. It's like really weird.
But they think it's like real swords.
Yeah, they're pretty sure that their blades are sharp. I'm like, no, it's yours is made out of a balloon. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, at this point it feels really good, especially with the Disruptor. So Sue is running for his life now that he sees a Disruptor.
Oh!
And he picks it up.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's
that was insanity. That hit.
That feels pretty bad. Now we have really no question of who's winning anymore.
That's how I remember Disruptors when they were released. I was getting shots like that every day.
Yeah. Now it's like Sue's foam sword is actually a foam sword, but Astrea pulls out a real sword.
And then he sees queens are there, and the queens turn around. All right, this is turning into a clown game right now. What am I watching?
This is a proper clown fiesta. Look, Disruptors are hitting
god! Oh my god! Oh, such good Disruptor hits.
Yeah.
Those fucking queens back there. They're like, we're coming! We're coming!
I don't know in what world these queens would make the difference.
It's so funny just how long it's taken for them to get there and watching them like turn around.
In what world would these queens win the game for Sue? Like he just doesn't. Maybe he thought it would be like a little like a shield battery area. Like he brings his Roach Rabbit, transfuse it back, and he goes out again. Like,
dude, games like this happen sometimes.
It's funny. So now Astrea's doing quite well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he just takes it slow again. I think at this point he knows he can't really lose the game anymore. Not with the queens here, too.
Yeah. Seems like just solid play from
like
here.
The one thing, too, the queen's telegraph is like, I actually don't care about this game continuing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as I see the queens, I'm like, okay, he actually doesn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah. It's like pulling the boys as a Terran.
It's
you're like, oh, okay, you want the game to end now.
Like, they have mules. You pull the boys. It's like, imagine like you're pulling half your hatcheries out on the map.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically what happens when you do this.
The Grey Goose strats.
You might as well just lift half of your barracks as well as pulling your boys. And then that's what it's like.
Yeah. I love it.
So, yeah, I think we don't really need to watch much more here.
Yeah, because I really want to see the other Sue games where he actually ends up losing at the end. I think that's going to be really... Oops.
Yeah, I think we don't watch Gumihos.
No, we'll skip that one for today, because we're going a little bit long. All right, Sue 4. So that was Astrea winning.
2-1.
Winning 2-1 over Sue. He dropped down after losing to Gumiho in the final match. Here, let me just pull up that bracket so you guys can see. So he did lose to Gumiho. I don't think we have time quite to go over those, but we'll go over these next two Sue replays.
That's interesting. I went over them, and it was just things like Hellion, like mine stuff, and then they just kill a bunch of workers and he loses.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is Gumiho. I mean, Gumiho is like really good at doing this.
Yeah.
We're pulling apart Protoss.
Oh! 12 pull.
Okay. Actually, I haven't seen the 12 pulls, so I'm excited.
Yeah. He's like, hey, you Nexus first me twice. I'm going to get you.
And he opens gate.
All right.
But he doesn't scout.
Mm-hmm.
And he also went gas first.
Well, I think you should do that if you're not going to scout.
Yeah. I'm just saying that there's all these things hurt you quite a bit.
Yeah.
Your 12 pull defense.
Totally.
Like, even if you go gate...
he sees the things just then.
Oh. That's a really fast reaction.
Wait, is he using the Diva voice pack?
Yes. I said I did the same thing. He's a big fan of anime too.
Anime's cool.
Yeah. And some K-dramas.
But if you're gonna use a voice pack, use the Tastosis voice pack. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Is there any other one?
As far as I know, no. None that are worthwhile.
Yeah.
Painful.
So okay, wait. People clowning on 12 pull, which includes me. Does 12 pull do anything if you probe scout? Does it ever do anything?
I don't.
It's so common that people probe scout. So why in the hell do people think 12 pull is broken? Like, you know how many Protosses go for the pylon blocks and Probe Scout, and it's just so rare that they don't go Probe Scout. And we have people whining about 12 pull strength. I mean, it's so weird.
Well, the thing is, 12 pull should gain power as people get smart and use builds like Astrea is doing here, right?
Yeah.
Because there are scoutless builds that come in sometimes, and it's okay against those. And then, obviously, anyone who's Nexus firsting, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And, you know, we talked about that, because, like, I remember, like, one GSL season, I think Patience is the only person that did Nexus first in any matchup or something like that. And we were like, everyone should do this more. It's
Does
just...
it feel like Sue's ahead? It feels like
Yeah.
it isn't.
No, it feels like he's ahead.
26
You don't
to
think so?
27. Nexus is fully
Yeah,
done.
but-
There's a robo on the way. There's no roaches. The speed
Okay.
is not here. There's just 9 drones at your nav.
But Sue is going to get a lot bigger a lot quicker. Like, he's going to get a lot... The fact that they're already equal in workers right now... Yeah, no, the fucking Protoss should be up higher right now, comparatively.
Can
He should be up like
Protoss just
4,
take a
5
third right
workers
now?
or something, right?
I feel like Protoss can just take a third right now.
No! Take a
there's
third
no
right now.
base.
What are you even talking about? Takes a third base and Lings come over and kill him.
What is he going to do? He's going to make slowlings and send them across the map with 40 drones?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, he has speed now. Look.
I guess. If
Yeah.
you want to do a 40...
You can't
Drone
just
Ling all in.
you can't have 2 units, a non-finished wall and a robo on the way and make a third nexus.
You
You
can
can't
if you
do
have
that.
an Oracle.
Yeah, if you add an oracle, absolutely, yeah. Of course, then you make the third.
This game still goes on 15 minutes. What's the drone count now? So now I feel like there should be a huge drone lead.
51-44. Yeah,
That's not huge.
it's fine though.
I still feel like this is kind of standard for Zerg.
Well, your opponent, yeah. Well, your opponent opened with the robo, right? So you want to stop your drones. Look, he's got 10 roach, 33 lings. Yeah, no, I think he's in good shape.
Where's the Immortal 2? That...
He's probably holding the watchtower. Go check here. Hold on. Oh no, he's not there. I'm not sure where he is.
We're just chilling back here.
Okay.
Yeah, this game just feels like a mismanaged game. All of it. Oh,
Well,
it's going for the all-in
not
too.
scouting, gas first against 12 pools, it's tough.
Robo-Bay. Like the Robo-Bay.
On 2 base. All right.
YOLO. I mean, at some points you have to ask yourself how you're going to come back.
Yeah.
When you know you're really far behind.
Sometimes it is a disruptor hit.
Yeah. And sometimes it's DTs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there's just lots of options
I think
for it.
disruptors are one of the best comeback units in the whole game.
No, of course. That and, like, DTs when they're not...
Yeah.
DTs are still fine.
I don't think they're
Not as good as Disruptors, I don't think.
they're so obvious.
Yeah,
Disruptors are like during a battle, something can go wrong, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
DTs are like, I hope you don't see this. Disruptors, you can get
What's
in
the
their
best
face and
Terran comeback unit? Tanks, I guess?
Marines and medevacs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Speed Prism, I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Mutas again. I like the Mutas.
Mm-hmm. Can't.
I feel like
go
as soon
on
as you see
mutas.
the Robo-Bag, you just go Spire.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder if it would be harder for people to play against Astrea if you went Stargate too, though. You know, like if let's say there was a Stargate already done from the beginning of the game, like let's pretend it's not a 12, we'll pretend everything didn't happen.
Yeah.
But there's just a Stargate exists. I feel like it might be a little bit harder to play against it.
Yeah, it's harder to pull the trigger on mutas, even though people still do right now.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, the thing is, if his style starts getting figured out, he can start doing really interesting things, like make his build look the same, and then double Stargate, stuff like
That
that,
would
right?
be cool, yeah.
And that move in general right now is kind of popular anyways.
I think his playstyle overall has a lot of potential. Especially considering the way he plays, it seems like a lot of just intelligent decision making. And like,
Yeah.
and like he's
Yeah.
he's intricately trying to mesh his strategies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So given more time and
That
more,
I do like.
more practice, I think he can do an even better job.
Yeah, he's not like a robotic copy. He's not like a lesser version of a better pro. He's got his own kind of style. It kind of works. He's trying to. I think what I've really enjoyed the most so oh my god, what I've enjoyed the most so far in this series is just the heavy gateway style against the Broodlord Infestor. I think that is just awesome, and I would like to see more pros try that.
That was essentially
Yeah,
the
this was
worst
painful.
possible fight you could take.
Yeah, that surround was pretty absurd.
I don't really blame him either, but at the same time, like, what?
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, this goes on. Let's just end it. I don't think we really need to see
All right.
15 meters on the way. I mean, he's going to get bopped. But it's... one thing that I take away from this, if I'm Sue, is if as soon as you take him off of his plan, it feels like it might be a little bit harder for him to stabilize and not, like, from a different position that he's normally used to.
Like Sue?
Yeah, no, like, if I'm Sue and I just 12-pulled and that's how the game went out, I would feel like if I gain momentum at certain points in the game and throw him off of his plan, it's a little bit harder for him to re-find his groove. Because it feels like that whole Zealots thing with the Prism didn't really make any sense. Not the same as, like, Astrea's play from this point on.
Yeah, it
Like,
wasn't
normally
a fully
all of
thought
his
out...
thoughts are just, like, they make a lot of sense intuitively. But that just felt like, well, what is this doing out here, you know?
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
He's going to open Nexus first, but with a scout this time. Whew.
That's cool.
I like it. So, I believe it's a 2-0, so I'm very curious how Stu ends
14
this one.
minutes.
So, Stu has full intel on exactly how Astrea likes to play this, especially with the scout,
Yeah.
right? Like, we know Astrea likes to take his third Nexus, and I bet you Stu just not even thinking about that Bane Leon, because he knows how trash that was, you know? He knows how lucky he actually got with what he did.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
If I'm Stu, I know. Like,
Yeah.
I
think I agree with you. Like,
Yeah.
he can do something like just take his fourth instantly.
Yeah. There's other ways to do this.
Yeah.
But we'll see how
Or,
he does this.
I mean, I think a Nidus play could be a possibility there as well.
I like so far. Like, he's just basically not giving a shit about anything. Like, he's got his lair, double extractor, no roaches. I mean, he is just building drones for days. And this is, like, one of the best ways to deal with this, I think.
Some more queens. Is he going to go Nidus? Or is he going to go directly in Spire? Oh, Spire.
This is so good. I really like it.
Against... That seems like a blind counter to Astrea. Oh, he's going both.
What, is it a fake, though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Astrea scouts the Nidus, but doesn't scout anything else.
I don't know.
I feel like this is almost a fuck with your opponent, because I love
Yeah, he
it.
canceled it. He canceled it.
I love it! This is so smart.
Yeah.
This is so proper smart.
Where's the Spire at? Where's the Spire at?
Oh, it's right there.
Ah, that's a good spot.
Yeah.
That's a good spot. You know where's not a good spot? Right there. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So
No, that's good. I like it. I like it. The fake. Because
Oh,
here,
no.
let's look at Astrea now. Let's see what he's up to.
They're attacking your base, you know.
So,
He's got +1/+1. I like that he goes on the map at all, because it feels like this presence doesn't make a lot of sense, but for vision and other things it does.
did he not see the Nidus?
He saw it. But did he
No, I
scout the
know,
cancel?
but did he click on it? Like, did he?
Oh.
Because
yeah.
I never saw him really move units into positions that I would for an anti-Nidus. So I just wonder. Okay, these mutas are going to be killer.
Yeah, he has no idea.
God.
What does he think it is? I guess he thinks it's just Ravager Link, like a normal game. 'Cause
Maybe.
He's getting Colossus upgrades. He has to.
Are
think it's
Colossus
mutas.
good against mutas?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, continuing. Because I think he knows mutas are very likely. Like, he's getting Blink still, but it seems like he's playing for the later normal timed mutas, you know? 35. Yeah, he's just dead.
This is bad.
Yeah,
Bad news.
this is really bad. These mutas have done more damage than all of the other mutas combined in every single game so far.
Yeah.
He's actually just fighting stalkers.
This was a good counter to Astrea's style in general.
This kind of feels weird for him too. Like, yeah, he's killing stalkers and all, but couldn't he? It almost feels like he just wins this game. Is it winning the game?
Do you
if
mean?
keep killing all
Yeah,
the
no.
stalkers?
I think killing the stalkers is the surest way to victory.
Really?
Yes, because you can just continually make mutas. Like, yeah.
This just
I
feels
think
really
if you spend all of your time killing probes, their stalker count continues to grow, and they're going to hit a critical mass, right? And then it's going to turn into some weird base trade shit. Whereas here, like, he's just controlling the fact that you have to put all of your money into making stalkers, and you're not growing at all.
And he lost a lot of mutas too, though. I guess if you go mass muta, this makes a lot more sense, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, you wouldn't do it with harassment mutas. This would have to be a muta strat.
Mineral field depleted.
like, all things considered, I actually really don't mind Astrea's position. Like, yeah, it sucks. Don't get me wrong. but he's somehow not just dead after not scouting this really fast Spire play.
So it feels to me, when I look at the drone count and the base count, that he's dead.
Yeah, but
I know that he has a lot of probes, but then the thing is, I know that Sue can explode into something else.
okay, my point. Imagine if he scouted that Spire.
Oh yeah.
Like he'd actually be in a pretty good spot.
He could have actually defended against it. Had some.
Like he had no scout of it.
Yeah.
And he really didn't take that much. But I also wonder if that's partially on Sue just like doing the stalker stuff. Interesting. I like that he's still going for 2-2 and he's just still playing the game.
Yeah, and I look at that Dark Shrine. Love that.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit a base trade anyways.
Right.
I like that he mined
You're
out
gonna
all the
make
minerals
Archons,
there
yeah.
too because he can't be using Blink to get over those.
Right.
Yeah, no, he's prepping himself correctly, I think, for his best chance at victory. It just when I look at what's actually going on in this game, it doesn't feel like a game that Protoss can really win.
Right.
Like I feel like Sue would definitely have to make a mistake here.
I love watching 30 stalkers take out one changeling at a time.
I know. God.
It's almost like they're real zealots. Like, even now, this fight still feels fine. I don't know if this is on Astrea. Is it?
Does he have
What's the probe
Baneling
count?
speed? No, he doesn't. Huh?
Probe count?
73.
Yeah, it's not bad, honestly. +2/+2 on your ground army. If he had Archons right now, I would feel like $1,000,000. Not $1,000,000, but I'd feel like this is a game.
Yeah, Archons would be helpful. I'm just surprised that he didn't get Baneling speed with all this. Like, if he had Baneling speed right now, I'd just laugh at you.
Yeah.
By the way, the Hydralisk Den, you see that? You see
Yeah.
that? What were we talking about? How if you're going like Zealot Stalker,
Yeah.
Tier 2 stuff just wrecks it.
Although, if we keep seeing Colossus being produced, like, consistently, it would look laughably bad, too. Once we get to Hydra Bane and there's Archon Colossi.
Well, okay, so if you have Colossus, you said Archon Colossus, which that's cheating. He doesn't have that economy.
He would get...
But
Sure.
like if it's a Colossus-based army, it will look really good against Ling Bane for a little bit, and then there will be one hole in your force fields, and 30 Banes will roll through it, and you lose your whole army because the Colossus are stacked on everything.
Sure.
So it's like the splash is actually ludicrously good against them.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm still really impressed with this game. Like,
Yeah,
he loses this game, but it feels like he was supposed to lose this game 3 times already.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's doing a pretty good job of stabilizing overall.
Oh, man.
They're attacking your probe.
Yeah, now it's going really bad. It makes so much more... I think if he first off, if he scouted it, he could have gone, like, what he wanted to do the other game. You know, like the Triple Stargate Phoenix stuff.
Yeah.
Would have looked really strong again. But he just did not have the economy or the time
Yeah.
because of this lack of scouting.
It was tough, and I mean there was enough Lings and stuff coming in. He felt like he had to make Colossus during this time.
Yeah. Like, I don't blame any
And
of
this
decision making based
the
off
comp
of
that's going on behind this. There's no way for him to beat it with gateway units.
Right.
You
Like
can't beat
long-term?
Hydraling Bane
Yeah.
with this army.
I agree.
This army just doesn't do it. This army's better against fucking Broodlord and Fester. I love that he's getting 3/3 though. That's like
This is what it... Yeah.
that's your attempt
This
right
would have should
there.
have happened in the gateway-only armies. He should have had 3/3.
And how he sees the Hydras, he knows that there is trouble afoot. GG, well played. GG, well played indeed.
Yeah.
This was a fun set of games. I really like Astrea's style overall. It's really fresh.
I like that it feels like it's organically produced, if you know what I mean by that. It's organically homegrown style. That's an organically homegrown Protoss.
He's got his own style, and while there are aspects of it that I'm not sure if they will withstand the test of time, it doesn't feel like it's pure gimmick. You know what I mean?
But it also feels that because he's gotten to this point on his own, it feels like he should actually be one of the forefronters for adapting when the times become tough. You know what I mean by that?
Maybe.
Like, because this feels like it's developed organically in the first place, that if it becomes worse and worse, he should be able to problem solve why and potentially change what he's doing wrong. Whereas a lot of people will keep doing it over and over and over again, like bashing their head against a brick wall, wondering like, why isn't it working anymore? But they don't really change anything.
Well, he's shown some flexibility with the tech, where some games he's going Disruptor, some games he's going Colossus, right? He's also utilizing some other pieces of that tech, like getting the Speed Prism with the Disruptor a little bit, you know. I like
Even
it.
the Triple Stargate and stuff all made a lot of sense. Like,
Yeah,
reactive, he was
that
just
seemed
reacting.
very weird, and then suddenly it seemed very smart. But no, it seems like he's a smart player. I like the games. I like
Yeah.
it.
I think he's a lot of potential.
Yeah, good stuff.
I think giving him more time in Korea and giving him more time of practice, I think will make him like really scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think he'll be truly respected within NA and certainly respected. Well, if he's certainly respected in NA and truly respected internationally.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
I got you.
I think like he just had to get a little bit better because there's this like runaway effect I think in NA where if you pass the round of 4 in Premiere or whatever, and you start going to all these events internationally, you get better and better.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that he can just get past that threshold of like Masa and Scarlet,
Mm-hmm.
and then go to all these events internationally because I think he'll get better quick with
Yeah.
more experience internationally.
Yeah.
And more experience.
Well, just the
in
fact that he's
tournaments.
putting time in Korea right now, I think, speaks a lot to it.
Yeah, and he watches every replay after almost every replay. So like he's
That's one of the
doing-
best ways to tell that someone's going to be good is if they watch every replay.
Yeah.
I am not even joking on that. That is a very easy way to tell how serious someone actually is about getting better.
right
Because
I agree.
it hurts to watch some replays. I lose games and I'm like, I have to walk away from the computer for 30 minutes before I can load the replay because I'm like, I'm so bad and he's so bad and I'm upset.
Right.
You know, and it's like, oh, your ego's getting in the way, man. You can't do that.
Yeah.
But very cool stuff. A big thanks to Astrea for sending us these replays because this was really a treat to look into them.
We'll have to see. We might be able to do his replays in the next GSL season qualifier.
I
when
hope
he
so.
qualifies for sure.
That would be amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
That
He
would
did
be
break
awesome.
his MMR record he's consistently going up. He's 6'4", I believe.
Nice.
Which is quite good. I was 6'5" when I was my highest ever and my like most consistent. So I think that's around the level where you should almost consistently get into Code S. It's around 6'4", 6'5". So
Mhm.
we'll have to see how he does. I think he has a lot of potential for.
Yeah, I think
Code S.
it's very reasonable that he can get into Code S.
Which would be cool.
I like not 100%, but if he got into Code S after watching these games and looking at the bracket he had, I wouldn't be like, whoa, that's crazy. Code S must be weaker now. No,
Right.
he seems like a player that's could get round to 32.
Yeah.
Absolutely on that level.
Well,
Very cool.
exciting.
Yeah. So guys, thanks for watching and listening to us and all that stuff. Yeah, definitely check out the Patreon, patreon.com/indepthsc2. That's how you can support the show if you want. Yeah, and that is it then.
Also, leave us your game suggestions for GSL.
Yeah,
in
we're
the
gonna have
Discord.
the season 3 GSL replay pack. I think we're planning on doing that next week.
week,
We're gonna
yeah.
start going over it. Yeah.
Cool.
So that should be just about that. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.